We are in the middle of the first war between humans and AI. And the thing is that most artists are not even aware of it. They are misled by the wave of disinformation spread by tech companies. As a researcher in formal logic and computer science, artificial intelligence, other than songwriter, I feel the duty of explaining to people what is going on, especially to artists, which are very scared and are in danger. But this danger, in reality, is the result of the copyright violations that AI companies are doing. Many people say AI is here to stay, but that's not true. Legal AI is here to stay. And this whole business of AI music is illegal right now. And I will explain you why. But why those lies are so widespread? The problem is when science is made by private companies, especially by companies which have a huge presence in all media. So you will listen the CEO of OpenAI, the CEO of Anthropic, talking about extraordinary, miraculous progress of AI technology. But how many scientists you hear? They don't speak, or just they are not asked for their opinion on the traditional social media, because of course tech companies are not interested in their opinion, in spreading the skepticism that in the research community is growing about AI. I think that most researchers are persuaded that there is no way this AI is intelligence, and it will take many years of research. But of course, tech companies want to build hype. They want to justify their enormous investments, and so they will not let these opinions to come forward. First of all, I admit I was shocked by the two main AI companies, so Udio and Suno, not because of the result of their work, but because I thought that the big players would come first. And so I expected, for example, that OpenAI would release its Sora DJ, its incredible model for music, because they have so many more resources than small startups. And the technology in reality is always the same, is always the same architecture, which is rather primitive. And everybody can do now AI. You say that you can see that all generators converge to the same results right now. So why these two small companies made by a handful of people? Because really Suno, as of last month, was just 12 people, and Udio probably even less. They are just refugees from Google DeepMind. They flee from the nasty Google who wanted to stop them to make the great music models. It's unbelievable. How is it possible? Why big players with all the resources that they have, they didn't do anything in music? The reason is simple. AI companies are obviously worried about copyright law because they know that the music industry is powerful and can sustain the economic effort to sue the AI companies. So the idea is that these AI companies are very small, very agile. They are basically ninjas hiding in the darkness. And if someone sue them and they lose, well, but we made money with our business. We can even sell the business before someone sues us. So that's a very clever strategy, but it's a very criminal strategy. There are so many lies spread about AI. People think that we are on the verge of AGI, so a computer with a level of intelligence like a human. And they say, well, it's because this AI has neural networks, and so it really learns like a human. And they keep making this comparison, which have no scientific sense. So first of all, these are not neural networks. These are called artificial neural networks. Neurons don't work like that. And moreover, neural networks are complex graphs in the human brain, and there are loops, while these neural networks of machines are just feed forward, so they don't have those loops. And the human brain has not only a cognitive system but also an emotional system, and this emotional system is fundamental in music. So they are completely different from the human brain. And indeed, they are quite stupid. So artificial intelligence is not intelligence at all now. And so the comparison with human makes no sense at all. Even assuming that these neural networks in some magical way are similar to human, but neural networks are not enough because a mosquito has a neural network. So why you should think that your system, which uses a neural network, is not like a mosquito or a snake, and you claim it's like a human? Well, the point is that billions of evolutions have organized those neural networks into very complex systems, and it's this complexity that makes the intelligence, not the neural network in itself. It's obvious, but the lie continues. So they have neural networks, so they have human level intelligence. No. And the thing is that they have no idea how the brain works. And so there is a lot of research to be done about how to make a complex neural architecture similar to humans. So in music, the difference between a human and a computer is even more obvious because we have an emotional system, okay? Computer don't have it. It's impossible. We don't know how the emotional system works, let alone we can implement it. And the point is that the emotional system is fundamental for cognition. It has been proved that really emotions affect the cognitive system. So that's why, for example, when something shocking happens, you remember precisely every detail. It's because of that connection. So how an artist learns? When I hear new music, I may become excited because I really love some pattern that the particular artist used, and say, oh wow, that sounds really cool, I want to understand how it works. And then I try to understand with my cognitive system that enters after my emotional system, and I will figure out how this works. And later I may use something similar, but not the same, in my music, because I have an abstract representation of how that pattern works. But AI has no emotional system, so a particular pattern, a particular musical idea has significance for AI only because of its statistical weight. So if the AI sees this pattern recurring in a lot of music, then it will say, okay, good, and it will memorize that pattern, because neural networks do memorize information. It has been proved in several scientific papers. This learning of AI leads naturally to cliches, to average, to something which is already overused, while the way human learn is very different because it's based on the emotion that the music has on us. So even if a pattern is used only once in all music, for me it will be significant and I will use it. This leads really to originality, to the development of new ideas for the first time. And AI can't do that, because for AI there is no truth. There is only statistical weight, only statistical information. So that's another huge difference between AI and humans. Humans have the notion of truth. For AI, truth doesn't exist, let alone beauty, because beauty is something that is determined by the emotional system and the cognitive system working together. If we didn't have an emotional system, beauty wouldn't exist. Beauty is actually arbitrary, because if an alien came to the Earth, it could very well think that our music sucks, because there is no reason why an alien, even intelligent, would have a different reaction like from a cat. A cat ignores our music because its emotional system is not affected, and also its cognitive system. So the first lie of AI companies is that humans are similar to AI systems. That's a huge lie, a huge misinformation. Now, copyright. Copyright is the thing that will destroy this AI music business. Why? Well, let's make a step back. Why copyright exists in the first place? Well, it's not to make artists or intellectuals rich people, because rarely they are. So yes, Taylor Swift may be rich, but many brilliant scientists, many brilliant artists are not and will not be rich. So it's fundamental to protect human creativity. Why I should devote years learning my skills in music if someone can just grab my work for free? How can I make a living out of my work? So if copyright didn't exist, human creativity wouldn't exist, okay? Not in the modern capitalistic society. Nobody could make a living out of art. So if copyright stops protecting humans, also art and knowledge and creativity will diminish and probably will end. So that being said, I always hear this wrong argument saying, okay, but a human is influenced by other music, it learns, so AI is like a human, so also AI should have the right to do that. But AI is not a human, it's a software. Okay, so the whole comparison makes no sense. Moreover, artists learn legally from art. So I listen to music on Spotify, on YouTube, and each time I listen to music, I pay a royalty to the artist. So I don't steal the source of my inspiration. You see the difference? AI companies download for free everything, and we are talking about billions of dollars, because books, movies, music, it's a huge value. So AI companies use a smarter argument, which is transformative use. Transformative use falls under the so-called fair use defense that you may have when you steal copyright work. So you say, this is for a fair use. But typically fair use is used for criticism, review, and popularization of art. So for example, I make a top 10 about music. So I let people listen to like 20 seconds of the first, of the second, of the third, and so on. And this is fair use because I'm not really competing with the original work. I'm just helping, for one thing, to spread this work. So AI company says, well, it's transformative. So AI takes the original music and transforms into a software product, which is very different, and creates new music, which is true. But the problem is that in order to claim fair use, there are 4 points, not only one, not only transformation. So what are the other two tests that are made to establish fair use? First, the amount of the work which is copied. So there's literally no precedent where an artist steal all possible things and use them in a work. Moreover, AI companies take the whole music, not a fragment. So it's not like a small citation of another work. And it's not a review, it's not a criticism. And so it's literally grabbing all the work. And this is a point which is violated in the fair use. But the most important point to be considered is how the work that is created out of the stolen work affects the market of the stolen work. So here AI is a disaster. Here the effects of AI on the music market are obviously disastrous. First of all, AI music affects the licensing markets because musicians have a rich market for licensing their music. So if a company wants to make an ad to sell bicycle and wants to use my music, it has to pay for a license, even if this is transformative. So we see that transformation is not enough to claim fair use. because yes, the ad has nothing to do with my music, doesn't compete with my market, but it uses my work to gain money. And licensing is really a way in which a musician can earn. So AI don't have to license music. Why? They are making money out of it. And so it affects a potential market for music. Moreover, there will be many that will use AI to create music. And so it will affect the market of, for example, media composers. Why a video company should buy music from a composer when the company can generate the music all by itself? So it's a huge damage for the original market of the stolen work. That's without doubt. Moreover, suppose that a label wants to make its own AI. It can, because it really takes very few people, as we have seen with Suno and Udio. But now Suno and Udio, so the AI companies, are taking away that opportunity from the copyright holders. And again, it impacts the original market. This is a fatal blow for AI companies. But there is more even, because you can argue that AI music exists only thanks to humans that have made the original music. So AI is not inventing anything, okay? Humanity has invented music. So every composer, every songwriter brings his own little contribution, and by piling these contributions, we obtain an astounding amount of creativity. AI, which doesn't have its own aesthetics, it doesn't have an emotional system, just copies from human art. And but if you affect the creators, the human creator, AI can no longer exist. So AI destroys the very conditions that make AI possible. And again, this is a huge impact of the market. So when you want to make a case for fair use, you have to consider all these points. And obviously, although the use of AI is transformative, the impact on the market is extremely toxic, is extremely dangerous. And so there's no way that this can be declared fair use. So what will happen? Well, the solution is simple. So AI company says, the solution is so difficult. How can we obtain all material, all licenses for all copyrighted material? But the solution is simply to imitate the models of Spotify, of a streaming platform. So music creators use distributors to upload their music on Spotify, Apple Music, and so on. We have the freedom to not upload our music on those platforms. And so what will happen is that we will have also to tick boxes for AI companies. So when you release music, do you want to check the box for allowing OpenAI to use your music for training their system? And and here it will depend on the market. If the AI companies will offer fair deals to artists, probably many artists will decide to license the music. But if they want to steal, if they want to pay artists basically nothing, well, nobody would upload the music on their platforms. And so AI will be destroyed. And so who knows the outcome of this? But AI is not here to stay. AI is here to be legal. Only legal things can survive. This smart AI generator is not smart at all. They just Photoshop known songs and combine them together. So the model appears to have learned chunks of famous music. Okay? Then what the model does is it takes away the lyrics from the original music and puts the new lyric on top of it. Moreover, it slightly modifies the tone of the original voice, some notes, and so on. And then it generates this, for example, audio, this 30-second chunk, and then you can extend it with yet another chunk, which is consistent a bit with the original, with the first chunk that is used. So AI, the statistics here, so the statistics of the AI seem to be used in order to connect these stolen chunks and put them together. Here you can see how this metal song is.
Hear now the feet that tread on stone. We chant and sing to fate, we're sworn. Hey!
Is similar to this one. So, in conclusion, I don't think AI music is intelligence at all. It's like a scam. But I didn't want to build my arguments based on the output, because the violation in copyright is already in the input. So thanks for watching, and let me know what you think.